Well, now, honestly speaking, this is the best financial advisor that I've ever received in my life. And guess what? It changed my life completely. I wish you saw me or watched my videos like 2 years or 3 years ago. Go check those videos and check of today's, okay? Now, this is what I received and actually transformed and changed my life. And I remember one thing when I graduated, obviously, as an African, there are limited jobs out there. I was hustling up and down, doing anything and everything provided to pay my bills. And guess what? I was having a very tough time. But I met one individual who talked to me, and up to date, I still talk to that guy, by the way, Dan. Salute to you. That was the greatest mentor that I've ever received in my life. And guess what? Right now, this video, perhaps at the end of this video, I'm gonna change someone's life and gonna be, wow, oh my goodness. Were it not for that good Joseph's video, my life would be where it is today. Now, if you are this kind of a person who doesn't like watching longer videos, this one is only for like 14 minutes only, and you're gonna change something out of it. Okay, by the way, if you're watching this video for the first time, this is Joseph speaking, and I talk about finances and investment and anything related to exactly that. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know what we do here. We like the video. We also make sure that we comment down below, and if you're new, make sure that you subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber and you've ever subscribed to my videos, come on, rather my channel, go ahead and do it. Let's get to the business now. Here we are. See, in anything that we do in life, we must have been inspired by somebody for us to make a difference that is actually so much registered that we inspire others. And that's why I decided to make this channel. So now, this is the best financial advice that I've ever received. And guess what I was told? I'm going to share it in 5 points. The point number 1 that I was shared to me because I was in darkness. Number 1, I was told, guess what? I'm going to say it in a very slow way. Whether you invest or not, no matter how small it is, at the end of the day, time will lapse. This is the point. I was telling the guy was telling me, do you know what? There is a, for example, let's draw an example of an MMF that you can actually invest with as low as 100 Kenyan shilling. And I was telling him, I mean, at just 100 Kenyan shillings a day, yeah, you can do so. And by the way, guess what happens? You know, at the end of the month, that is 3,000. In a couple of years, you're gonna get yourself a good amount of money. At the end of the year, you have yourself like over 40,000 due to the interest and something. And I was like, wow, 100 bob seems as if it's a very small amount of money. Guess what he told me? Guess what? Whether you invest or not, the fact remains, time will still lapse. Sometimes I share, there was a video I made here and I told you guys, you can actually decide to set aside only 5,000 in an investment that is giving you a compounding interest. And in a period of 10 years, you'll have yourself a million bob. And some of you guys are like, oh my goodness, 10 years is a lot of times and all those kind of things. Assuming that if you marry today, in a year's time, say you get, let's say you marry today and you get busy. In a year's time, you have a child. So that child will be 9 years by the time you do what? You get the 10 years. And guess what happens? A child of 10 years in Kenya probably is at grade 3 or grade 3, around there. I think it's a grade 3 or something of sort. Can you imagine a grade 3 kid? Not even before junior secondary, not even before the senior secondary. That is just a small child. That is the time that you really need a lot of money. And guess what happens? What if you disregard your investing? At the end of the day, the 10 years will lapse. And that thing changed me. I was like, oh my goodness. And guess what? Since the time I received that, by the way, I didn't graduate like long time ago. Up to date is a couple of years. And I was like, oh my goodness. I made a decision at a particular time and I'm still pushing it, and it's actually making a great difference. The fact remains, whether you view it as a long term, whether you view it as a very long term period of time or something of sort, at the end of the day, it's gonna lapse. That's a reality, and that's part number 1. Let me just put it down on paper so that at least if you're copying it, you can be able to write it out there. So whether you invest or not, guess what happens? No matter how small it is, no matter how small that money it is, okay? No matter how small, okay? No matter how small, guess what happens? Time will lapse. Time will lapse, all right? So it is good to make sure that you take a step, because I know some of you have been watching my videos. This is the second year probably you're watching my videos, okay? You've never done anything. You keep on here, you come here, you watch my videos, you like the video, you say, wow, amazing, good idea, fantastic, I love it. You never take any action. You're still waiting. I don't know what exactly you're waiting. Probably you're waiting you earn a good amount of money or something of sort. I say even if you're earning 9,000 at the end of the month, just 1, 2, 3, 9,000 only, that's like $90 a month. You can actually decide to set aside a small amount of money, maybe $10 at the end of that month. Put it aside somewhere. Keep on pressing it. Because what happens? At the end of the period, at the end of the time, you not only have the money, but you have your character, yourself at the same time. That's a reality. Don't squander. Probably you're employed somewhere, you don't love your job. By the way, most of the people don't love their job, so you're not unique in any way. So even if you don't love your job, keep on pushing on that. All right, guess what I was told next? The next point, I was told that if you do nothing, and I want you to listen to this carefully, if you do, now he was telling me now, okay? Now you see him telling me now. There's Dan telling Joseph, okay? If you do nothing about money today, rest assured that tomorrow you'll have a money problem. I'll repeat, if you do nothing about money today, rest assured that tomorrow you'll have a money problem. What does that tell you? For example, let's say you stay somewhere. Let me just put it on the on board so that you can pick it, okay? See, if you do nothing, about money today, rest assured, you'll have a money you will have a money problem tomorrow. All right. So the issue is this. Can you imagine this? See, you're seated somewhere. Say you're a graduate, you don't have a job. Or maybe say you're employed, you have a job somewhere, and say you do not budget your money, you do not invest, you do nothing about it. And then I don't know what exactly you're banking on. I don't know. See, I don't know. In Africa, is this where we just ride on hope at all the time? You see, if you're not doing anything, how do you expect something to happen? You're doing nothing about it. You're there. And I remember me hanging around with some of my graduates until, by the way, I'm not even in those WhatsApp groups of whom we graduated with. I'm not even in those WhatsApp group of high school. And I discourage you from joining those WhatsApp high schools and those WhatsApp group of those guys whom you graduated with. Sometimes I even tell people, those people who you work with, those WhatsApp group does not even help you unless it's a law by that place that you usually work. They are nonsense. They don't even help you in one way or the other. See, guess what happens? See, when you hang around with those people who are complaining as you, guess what? You don't even see the opportunity. I remember one thing, when I graduated, I had no jobs. There's a reality with my degree. All right. And I get out of the jobs. I get out of the market here. There were no jobs. Get what happens now? I got to pick what is available. I was in painting. I was selling those paints. I was moving all over my country, doing all those jobs and what have you. They weren't the job that I loved, that's for sure. But I was doing them because I was paying my bills. I was able at least to, yes, I wasn't able to achieve my dreams using those jobs, but at least I was eating, I was dressing. I wasn't a beggar. I wasn't begging people. See, if you just sit somewhere complaining, there are no jobs, I can't do nothing, then you go back home. You come again, there are no jobs, I think the government is doing nothing, there's no jobs, you go back home. Guess what you're doing? See, rest assured that tomorrow you'll have a money problem. That's a reality. So you have to do something today for the sake of tomorrow. Guess what happens? See, tomorrow is usually made today, and today was made yesterday. It's simple. That's the world of finance. You really have to understand those nitty-gritties, because if you do not, then you're going to get yourself into lots of problems. So what you're supposed to understand is that you have to do something. And guess what happens now? Let's go to the point number 3 that was shared with me. Now, the point number 3, I was told that wealth is intentional. Let me just call it wealth creation. Wealth creation is intentional. It is intentional in the sense that you have to be intentionally doing it. See, those people who are in the business of becoming rich, literally, they are in the business of becoming rich. You don't just sit somewhere doing nothing. See, you have a small business operating somewhere. You don't manage your business. You don't actually manage your finances. You don't even pay yourself. You don't differentiate that what you get from the business and that what you pay yourself. You're just sitting somewhere. You're doing nothing. You're employed. You do nothing, and you won't become wealthy. You only work with these dreams and hopes and all of the kind of things. You have to look intentionally doing it. And I love giving this example. If you meet somebody who is a bodybuilder, okay, fine. Sometimes I use that example and people are like, okay, Joseph, you're not fair to ladies. Okay, let me use a very simple example to ladies, those who do modeling. See those tall ladies, beautiful and all those kind of things. For example, if you watch Miss Universe and what have you, that body, as much as somehow it is in it, like how tall you are and all those kind of things, how they look, they really struggle for them to maintain that body. They don't have the belly fat. They are just slender. You get what I'm saying? Well, I may not be able to actually sort of describe that thing, but the way they look, they intentionally create that. They do exactly that. They try the best they can to make sure that, for example, if you look at these wonderful ladies who do music and they are popular all over the world, they really, by the way, if they were to show you what they do behind the curtain, they check on what they eat as a diet. They make sure that at least they work out all the times. For example, if you meet these bodybuilders, you find somebody with muscles and all those kind of things, and then you think, do you think that thing just happened out of nowhere? It is intentional. That guy showed up to a gym and is intentional. For example, in Kenya, maybe you can relate to this. These guys who win these great marathons and what have you, All right, you know their names. So the fact is, you find these people, they don't just wake up in the morning and say like, hey, you know what, darling, I'm going to that London Marathon. No, they don't do that. You intentionally work for that thing. So the same case happens to the wealth creation. You have to look intentionally doing it. How do you do that? When you are disciplined with your money, when you sacrifice, when you do what we call the delayed gratification, when you actually pick an investment method, no matter how small you have it, you keep on pushing it, you keep on pushing. And I always tell people, show up every day. You never miss your lucky day. That's a reality, because I told you one thing, success is always an intersection between 2 points. One is a hard work, two is luck. And I said you can only control hard work, you can't control luck. That's a reality and that's a fact. So you have to show up each and every day, striving, doing the best as you can, trying those are the things that you're supposed to do. Intentional. Let's go to the point number 4. The point number 4 is that are we still together? Point number 4 is that nobody is in business of making you rich. Nobody is in the business of making you rich. Even your teachers who educate you in campuses or high school or whatever, those guys, they are working, they are in jobs, and they get promoted by virtue of you passing those exams and what have you. Nobody is in the business of making you rich. Nobody. That's what you are supposed to understand. Government is not. Whether you elect who or whoever gets into power, whoever, the fact remains nobody is in business of making you rich. Those are guys who are chasing their dreams. That's a reality, and you're far from their heart. And when you walk in this entitlement, hey, I'm poor because I'm in Africa. Oh, I'm poor because I'm this. Oh, I'm poor because I'm black. I'm doing this because of this. That is a victim mentality. Kill it. Don't have it. Don't have that mentality. Walk with the mentality of, hey, it has ever been done before? Yes, it can be done. See, in this Africa that people say it's a poor continent, do we have rich people who have never gotten out of the boundaries of Africa? Yes, we have them. Obviously, don't borrow the ideas of those people who, you get what I'm saying, So the point is this, get to understand that nobody is in the business of making you wealthy. And poverty starts in your mindset before it goes in your pocket. Guess what happens now? Absence of something in your pocket, well, obviously I mean money here, is actually a reflection of what has been going on in your head. That's a reality. That is true. All right. So that is it. So for example, you cannot tell somebody has intention of, say, killing or something. But when they do the thing, that's when you realize, hey, they have done that bad thing. Okay. So the point is this, that what is going on in your pocket, it's actually a reflection of what has been going on out there. Okay. So it is good to make sure that try as much as you can eradicate poverty in your life. It is always intentional. You have to actually go ahead and do something called, hey, nobody's in business of making you rich. You have to do it by yourself. You have to try as much as you can. You have to relate with people who are on the same mission as you. And that is exactly how you grow yourself, you master yourself, and move to the next level. That is exactly how you do it. And let's go to the last point. See, anything you see, this is the last point. I want you to listen at it carefully. Anything that you see, it has two versions. There is a business part of it and there is a professional part of it. For example, if you go to education or if you go to teaching, if you see teachers, there is education part of it. For example, if you go to, let's say, a private school, so there is the business part of it, which is owned by the director, and then there is the profession part of it, which is the teaching. So choose in this world, which part do you want to belong? If you go to the healthcare industry, there's the one who owns the hospital and there is the doctors. So if you go to school, they teach you to be the profession part of it. They don't teach you to own. They don't teach you to... And that's why you might find somebody who is the CEO of a big hospital is not necessarily a doctor. He's a business administrator or something of sort. Someone who did the business-related kind of a thing. Because running a business, it is not overly defined by the understanding the technical aspect. There's this notion that people have, like, by virtue of me being a doctor, if I open a hospital, then it will succeed. No. By virtue of me being a teacher, then if I open a school, no, it doesn't happen. There is a difference between the technical aspect of any given venture, and then there is the business part of it. So the thing is this, in anything that you see in life, there is always a what? The business part of it, and there's a profession part of it. And most of the people who are in the profession part of it, they keep on complaining. That's why you make these bodies, you complain to the government. For example, in Kenya right now, as doctors are on strike, they are saying, hey, they want more salaries. I don't know, their salaries have been deducted and all those what have you. See, when you operate the business, that's when you define how much you're going to earn based on how hard you work and all those kind of things. But when you're on the profession part of it, your money, how much you make, gonna be controlled by the government, gonna be controlled by the bodies and all those kind of things. So the point is this, choose what you wanna be. You wanna be the business part of it, you wanna be the profession part of it. That is it. That's what I was shared with me. Those are 5 points that actually was shared with me, and I was like, wow, I've never thought about that specific thing. That changed my mentality, and that's why I keep on pushing until today. And that's why we have the good Joseph today. Pick a thing that worked for you out of that information, and probably I'm going to make a part 2 of this. Stay put and stay tuned. For now, it's a goodbye. By the way, if you'd like to have a conversation with me, never forget this. My number is always on the description of this specific video. Get that number, shoot me a call, and my email is out there as well. You can get that email. Let's get to business. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.